On a daily basis, we are exposed to electromagnetic fields. Higher frequency EMFs include ionizing radiation such as gamma rays and X-rays, and lower frequency EMFs include non-ionizing radiation like radio waves, microwaves, and power lines. There is some scientific evidence that long-term exposure to non-ionizing radiation has been associated with health impacts, including various types of cancer, cardiovascular and neurodegenerative diseases, reproductive outcomes, and electromagnetic hypersensitivity. However, even after 30 years of extensive research, evidence on the effects of non-ionizing radiation remains far from conclusive. Today, extremely low-frequency electromagnetic radiation is everywhere in our biosphere due to the increase of residential and industrial generation, transmission, and distribution of electricity. But what are the concerns if scientific consensus cannot deductively or inductively conclude any causal relationships to adverse effects on humans? Let's consider the interaction of EMFs with the body. All matter interacts strongly with electric fields, which exist naturally in our body as well as naturally and artificially in the environment, and these fields can potentially disrupt the biological mechanisms of the body, particularly the heart, the brain, and the nervous system as they function through electrical signals. Moreover, research strongly indicates children are much more susceptible to adverse effects from non-ionizing radiation exposure as compared to adults. Research in more than 30 studies indicate strong associations of childhood leukemia increasing from residential EMF exposure. Overall, long-term biological effects from EMFs remain unclear. Maybe this means we need to limit EMF exposure until scientists understand long-term effects with more credible and conclusive evidence. Here in Canada, what we can do to reduce some of the major sources of EMF exposure is barricade or submerge electric power systems. In North America, where power lines are predominantly above ground, electromagnetic radiation is 3 times the amount compared to places such as Germany and Norway, where power lines are buried. Furthermore, open communication and consultation that increases transparency and health information between scientists, governments, industries, and the public can help to raise overall awareness, especially for individuals who are more susceptible to exposure. Overall, epidemiological studies continue to observe stronger and more consistent evidence indicating negative health impacts from EMFs. Therefore, precautionary approaches in government, raising individual awareness in populations, and continued research on the potential adverse health effects of EMFs is a foreseeable approach to mitigate and moderate exposure. And with increasingly important technological advances such as electric traction motors, which are used in trains, rails, and hybrid cars, artificial EMFs will only become increasingly prevalent in our biosphere. Thus, as society, we need to ensure future governments and politicians are prioritizing a sustainable relationship between us and the environment.